Okie dokie, time for us to continue this little climb that we're on to try and finish the climb to infinite while I have no internet. So, gonna be rocking a list inspired from KM Best today. This is a list, well, it's actually one card off of a list they played recently. They claimed to be one of the better decks they've played this season, looking to make Devil Dinosaur a force to be considered with once again. The only change I've had to make, I'm playing Maximus in the 3-drop slot because I do not have Agent Coulson to fill that spot instead, which is the one they were using in that space. So, looking forward to jamming some Dino, seeing if Darkhawk Dino is a thing that, excuse me, we should be keeping our eyes on. Okay, so into the breach we go. Looking forward to seeing how this one does, to be honest. Oh. Hopefully all of you are having a lovely day today. Thank you for the subscriptions and stuff. I really appreciate it. This vault is kind of weird. Do I care about having Quinjet online for turn 3? I don't think I really do, no. I think realistically we're probably just going to be Sentinel 1-2, Quinjet Sentinel 1-3 a lot of the time here. Nova Roma might very well change that. We find Maximus, sure. Sentinel 1-2 has not changed. Let's keep our hands stocked with goodies. We'll get Scorpioned. Stats have been removed. Westview. Sure. So basically we still don't know what this is. We finally draw Zabu. Gonna have that as an opportunity for me to snap. Seems like I probably should. So very much looking for Moongirl, Rockslide, White Queen as one of our draw steps to make this very good. It's over half of our deck. Seems worth snapping if you ask me. Bonk. Juggernaut. Okay, we're not going to play into the vault. Interesting they didn't save that until turn 5, but that's fine. X-Mansion. We find the White Queen. Deal. Stuff and things. Oh, Zabu, you're so silly. Okay, looking for the Rock Slide. Whoa, what the fuck? Pardon my language. Excuse me? Why do we have a Shang-Chi there? Oh, dude, that feels so bad. I'm so upset. Alright, well. I'll still Dino, but that's such a suspect Shang-Chi. If I was live, I would be asking questions. But I am not live. So I guess I just suck. So opponent with the Serra, things reduced on down for them. Makes a lot of sense. We're just going to go Maximus. So we've got to be a little careful of getting Surfered, right? Surfer pulls this up to 11. So we need to only go down by a maximum of 4. Which we can do. We just do this. And then we hold the Quinjet. I think that is what we do. Otherwise we'd have to consider playing the Sentinel to keep our hand big enough for the Dino. Bro, that Shang-Chi, what the hell? I'm so angry. Oh. See if our opponent wants to continue. They're thinking about it. Dun, dun, dun. Opponent is out of here. Victory. Makes sense. We'll take our 2 cubes and we'll move on with our life. On to the next one. He says, while he waits for the loading button to catch up. It's going to be a lot of that, unfortunately, while we're working off the hotspot. My internet is patchy at best. Okay, on to the next one. Morag is interesting. Okay. Think we can probably play into Morag a bit later. Don't think we need to hold Korg to play there on turn 5. Seems a little unnecessary. Avengers Compound means we weren't going to be playing there on turn 5 anyway. Okay. So we're going to be looking for our Sentinel or our Quinjet to get into Morag. Opponent's deck looking quite pretty. Gold back Deadpool. Inkified the hood. Look at that. So we find the Quinjet. The question is if we hold this for turn 5. And I think, sadly, the answer probably is no. Because we have to play into Avengers Compound on 5 anyway. So I think we're just playing for 2 locations this game. Hoping that we're good. Opponent will Killmonger, which is very unfortunate. Today on Why Did I Have Reveal Priority? A memoir by me. We do draw a dinosaur. Okay. So at the moment, 6 cards in deck. I think we're going to Rock Slide. Throw some juice into their deck. Then look to go Dino Darkhawk, I think. Opponent is filling up Morag, that's for sure. That's okay, that's a fight we knew we were probably losing. So, Dino. Opponent with the Professor X. Well. White Queen's just the line, right? Opponent snaps, like... This isn't Destroyer, is it? Maybe they just know they've got Death. I think I'm out of here. Too many things that we randomly get duped by in that spot. Kind of happy to let it go and just pick a better spot to try and attack an opponent, basically. Oh, loading. Loading. We go again. Let us see what we can do. Good old Devil Dinosaur. Okay, so no 4s with this Zabu is a little dicey, but this hand has some really, really high upside potential, so... if we draw a 4 on turn 2, we're probably just clickety-clicking. Danger Room. That sounds dangerous. Giving our opponent a rock seems less satisfactory now. I think we're still going to do it here, though. And occasionally the Korg is dead. Domino. Okay, so... Surfer or Galactus is basically what that means. Okay, we draw a 4, so I probably snap. This is a bit aggressive, honestly. But I think it's just so easy to draw a second 4 now that our turn 4 just ends up being so much better than our opponent's basically always. So we'll take the risk. Opponent with the Killmonger clears out the Quinjet and the Korg, unfortunately. That's perfect. Very glad that I snapped. Very, very glad that I snapped. Opponent will storm out the Danger Room. Looks pretty perfect for a Devil Dinosaur to slot into it. Thunk. Dinosaur number 1, please. And we might genuinely Maximus instead of the second Dino, depending on what our opponent does. They play the Serra. So we have to assume there is a Surfer in our future somewhere, but that doesn't win mid. So Dinosaur's worth 11. Double Maximus is worth 14. However, if I double Maximus, the Surfer comes in. So I'm 2 cards out of my hand down to 9. The Surfer comes in and ties mid, so I can't afford to do that. So I have to just do this. And we pick the fight in Washington, D.C. because there is no 3-cost card in it, whereas there is in Stark Tower. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe this means we lose to Brood plus X plus Surfer. If they play them in the right places, right? Because if they play Brood and a 3-drop in Washington, D.C., and then Surfer in Stark Tower, we lose. Yeah, this might have been wrong. Maybe I was supposed to Dino right here. Got a bit preemptive. Should have at least thought it through. Because Dino right means that we'd be adding 11 over there when we're up by 2. So we're up by 13. So, to be fair, it's pretty easy that we lose that too. If it's like Maximus plus Polaris plus Surface. I think, realistically, there's a good chance we could have lost either. It looks like, unfortunately, we might have guessed wrong here. Now we're all good. The rogue is not enough. Okay, so we're all good. There was no Brood. No Brood was the key there to this being the correct line. So we take our cubes. Close one. Definitely a few ways that could have gone. I think that makes for quite an interesting little game. We go again. See if we can keep the momentum spinning. Fingers crossed. We go again. Okay, Sentinel's a good find here after our opening hand was full of 4s. Oh. Some sweet games so far. This deck feels very powerful. You are just combining a very solid selection of win cons. It's going to stay out of Grand Central for now because I know we're going to have to, stack stuff up in there later. Seems more than reasonable. Sentinel will get to work in the hub. Opponent will play their Sunspot there instead. Sure. Strange Academy. Well, we can try our best to stay out of there too. So, part of me wants to Hulkbuster to make space in my hand. Because at the moment, my hand is quite full. So I'm going to do that. Hand is always going to be quite full in this deck, but your Moon Girl looks a little weird when you can't do anything with it. So, White Queen, I think, is the line here. And then hopefully we get to go Dino into second Dino Maximus. Or something to that effect. The kind of core gameplay of this deck is very much a tale as old as time at this point. Dinosaur kind of sees play all the way back to Series 1, which is very cool. It means that, if you enjoy the archetype, you're going to have something to kind of play towards for all of your days, which is sweet. That's a nice thing that I think is kind of hard to achieve in a lot of card games. So our White Queen pulls a America Chavez. Kind of unfortunate that they already have that. Dracula. I'm guessing this was like randomly generated. Because it's got no border. What do they generate this with? Why is there a Chavez in their hand already? Am I stupid? Maybe I'm stupid. I'm not entirely sure how this got there. So, for now, we go Dino. And hopefully our opponent has something crap pulled into the Grand Central and we don't lose our Mystique, basically. Okay, why would you play into Strange Academy here? I guess Grand Central procs first, so it's mostly fine. The Shang-Chi does nothing, Sentinel just puts another card into my hand, which is fine. So now, basically, the risk is that we lose to an Infinite being popped from the Dracula. 2 cards in hand. What if that wasn't a risk? So we go like this. They draw the last cards in their hand as well. And then this is a 15, 13 power bonus. Interesting. So up by 13, but down by 4. So up by 9. Which puts us to 31. I think this is the line. Hopefully I'm not forgetting something. I'm gonna feel very silly if this bricks off. I mean, to be fair, they could still hit the Infinite. And we're all good. There we go. Did our math. Did our math correctly. Had my heart in my mouth for a second there. Took like 4 to 5 attempts for me to do the math correctly on how that was supposed to go. Alright. This deck feels pretty good. I imagine we'll be playing this one again in the future. Up to 96 and looking to hopefully keep the wheels spinning as we continue to carry that climb towards Infinite on. Fingers crossed.